Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Oh, man, so here we go again. I gotta be deep. I mean, I gotta speak from the heart. I gotta let y'all know something, you know? Let me just go ahead and say, you know, how can I put this? I'm sorry that I didn't make this episode sooner. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
How's it going, J360 Legion? What is up? Welcome to the J-Man Show for episode 282. I'm your host, J-Man, of course. And yeah, I know it's a little late, but needless to say, it was all for a good cause. I'm making changes, and for all the right reasons. And I'm going to tell you this, like it needed to be done, because one way or another, you know how you go to sleep, right? Allegedly, because it's the holiday season, you know, we're all trying to get gifts for our loved ones or trying to get gifts for significant others, which is loved ones too, so I don't know why the hell I just said that. But at the same time, you know, like, there's a lot going on, and you do what you got to do for the year end and all that. But you see, like, for a moment there, much like Scrooge, I got haunted by three spirits in the night, too. You know? And it reminds you that, you know, you got to do something pretty big. Like, and then had a moment where, like, you know, I had the past thing going on, and of course, you know, I had the present going on, which is why I'm a little late tonight. And then all of a sudden, the future was always in the back of my mind. Like, you know, the future of J360 Productions, the future of J-Man himself, the future of the people in my life. There's a lot of cool, wild things going down, but I'm gonna tell you, I was, like, really adamant about getting stuff done today, which is why I kind of overslept. I don't know, as soon as like 3 o'clock hit, I was just done, you know, and I was out for a while, and then like, you know, all of a sudden, like, pulsating things and all sorts of dream sequences happened, and then all of a sudden I saw myself, right, still over here, still doing the same thing, still with, like, you know, same numbers being pushed around. And it's all because I didn't go for, like, you know, certain opportunities and things. Like, I stuck to my principles a little bit more rigid. See, now, the thing about what I'm saying is, when you have principles about things, you know, like how I usually say some parties I don't go to in reference to, like, toxic people that do similar stuff that I do and everything. Now, that's a good principle to have because, like, not everybody's out there for your best interest, and not everybody wants to see you succeed as things. But once again, it's like, you know, say, like, if I wasn't me, and I forgot where my foothold is, and then at the same time, got real sensitive about stuff. Like pretty much a balding tire that's still rolling around on your car, which by the way, I highly suggest you check your vehicle out a little bit because we coming into them crazy times, especially here on the East. I hope you know that. But yeah, like I had this dream, like I really let it get to me and I didn't do anything. Like I stayed right over there and then like, my hair grew out, stress added weight, and like I was in a corner most of the time. And it scared the living hell out of me. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's just like, whoa! Woke me right the F up. And then I was looking, I saw it was like 6 or something. Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock or something like that. And then I was like, oh man, I had to hurry up and get like some modifications for J360 TV set. Which, by the way, we're still sticking with the same old material that we use for like, broadcasting out, the same streaming, so you ain't got to worry about that. The most that you really have to pay attention to is the Twitch and the YouTube, okay? So I'm just letting you guys really know about that. As for Facebook itself, we're still ironing out the bugs, but like, just pay attention and you'll know. But definitely the Twitch and the YouTube. But yeah, I had to hurry up and go ahead and work on a lot of those R&D projects just to get them on the way because it's important, to see what works and what doesn't. And then the best thing is like where I can go ahead and throw them to you guys, sometimes by surprise and then sometimes by announcement. But yeah, like it was like I wasn't even doing R&D. I was a real shell of myself in that whole dream sequence. And I ain't going out like that. That's just not the way it is for me, man. And the thing about it is with present, that kind of stuff could seep into your present, make you not want to do anything, and then all of a sudden that ends up being your future. And then of course, you're blaming people. Like remember like the people that were not on jams anymore. They're not important. And, like I said, you can't save everybody, so I had to let that go. And then like, all that kind of stuff for the changes that I need to do, I had to trade up my old life for my new one. So that's just what we've been working on for a while. Yes. And even here, like, I'm looking at 2023, like, hey, guess what? Let's just do this a little bit better than 2022. Even though, like I said before, like, around 2021 was kind of the road to recovery. And then, like, 2022, you start to feel it again. Well, 2023, let's go ahead and look at the skyline and shoot for the breeze and just go ahead and win this thing. And, like, 2024 and 2025, that's just smooth sailing. Even if you got a bunch of icebergs around your Titanic. But this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to put a damn drill on the front of this boat. We going through it, baby. Ride the tunnel, if you will. And you know what? Like I said, on the road to to the right things and stuff. Like, and then I had a conversation with a few people that I know that were talking about certain movies that are coming out. Like, what with Avatar and all that stuff. James Cameron's ego gets on my damn nerves, man. You know what I mean? Like, you see, when I was a kid, like, I really wasn't paying attention to that stuff. But he always had this ego. And I think, what was he? He was homeless at one time, right? Wasn't he, like, living in his car? And then he eventually made the script for Terminator, which kind of pulled him out of it. Like, it's not to say that we all don't go through things. I think even James Gunn was living in his car, right? Quite a lot of people were living in their car. And I totally get it. But, which is why you shouldn't really throw stones at people like that anyway, because anybody can be somebody, Like, even if it seems like you're not winning this year, I'm sure by next year, you're going to see a lot of crazy people come out of the gate and just end up winning the race all the time. Like, I always kind of look at it like this. Like, say, like, everybody's got their luxury car. Like, it's kind of like they say life's a race, all right? So everybody's got their luxury car, and me, I'm showing up in like an Oldsmobile Jalopy, right? You know what I mean? It's got the J360 logo on both sides, and it's able to burn up the track though. It looks like hell, but at the same time, it goes as far as it needs to. Kind of like the Millennium Falcon, if you will. So, at the same time, like, appearances can be deceiving all the time. And that's the way I like to go about doing things, because I'd rather you think that things were desolate than to think like, oh my God. And then that moment where, like, me or Al actually compete, or even me or Marco compete, and then all of a sudden it's a whole different story then. But yes, like, going back into James Cameron's ego, see, now that I'm a lot older, and now that I'm a director myself, and, like, I'm working on my own material, I mean, I get that this is, like, his pet project, and I get, like, he gets a lot of leeway because of what he did with Titanic, and, not to mention the first Avatar film, which, by the way, sometimes I think that damn movie's overrated. It's beautiful to look at, don't get me wrong. But there are moments where I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I'll go to the theme park and everything. Like, you know, I'll go ahead, be at Pandora, see all and experience it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But the whole thing with this sequel was, one, you know, it's a 3-hour film, which at the same time he's like, well, this is what they could do. They could go ahead to the bathroom and then they could come back and rewatch the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, give me a break, man. And I don't know why people are so obsessed about runtimes these days. It's like, do you really have anything better to do? Like, if you're going to go and see a movie, okay? Like, when I go see a movie, I don't care about anything else. I just want to see the film. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn about runtime. Like when Infinity War came out, well, was it Infinity War or was it Endgame? Oh, like, yeah, when Endgame came out and everybody was like, oh, you don't want to go to the bathroom. You don't, man, I had my birch beer sitting right there. I was chugging. And then you know what? I held it the whole time because, you know, I'm pretty good about that. But at the same time, I'm also like, nah, I made it through Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. I can do this. You ain't got nothing on me. To which I did, you know? And even then, I'm like, as long as there's a good story to tell, and as long as there's something really, really cool that takes me out of real life, I don't care, you know? Which is what it's supposed to be. But, you know, we ruin escapist entertainment now with anything that we pull from real life politics. And see, the thing is, he was over there talking about some woke nonsense not too long ago. I was like, damn, man, why don't you just sell your movie and that's it? Like, I don't care about how you feel about things personally and stuff, which within itself, it's like, okay, are we solving the problem or are we just going ahead putting a Band-Aid on it? And you see, most of the time, even though, like, and I think Jennifer Lawrence came back talking about, like, how the producers of those Hunger Game films was asking about, like, how much weight is she going to lose and all that kind of stuff, to which she's fabulous and all. But once again, I just find it very, very annoying that in the post game that we're hearing about all this stuff, when at the same time it's like they just ruin people like this. And you know, it's always an executive in a suit that's saying all this crazy stuff. Then, you know, like, how come this person's not fired? How come this person is not, you know, taken and sued into oblivion, like, after all this stuff? You understand what I'm saying? If things are really a problem too, because that person needs to go. They're not making the environment enjoyable. But at the same time, the film industry doesn't have an HR department like anything. You know, so it's always like all those underhanded tactics and stuff, which is really damn annoying. But you know what? That's the beautiful part about being a lawyer, though. Representation matters. Oh, I got you. Don't think I ain't been thinking about law school. All right, so you know what I mean? It's just, it's insane sometimes. But, like, I think Way of Water is going to be fine. But this guy's over here talking about Avatar 4 now. I'm like, what the... I know, I'm supposed to do it clean. Yeah, see, I can say damn, I can say ass, I can't say, see what I'm saying? So that's just how that be going. And if I was really annoyed as hell, all bets are off. Deal or no deal, you know? But yeah, like, what are you going to talk about Avatar 4 for? Who cares? And then there was a moment where he was talking about, like, what if Avatar 2 was a flop? And I'm like, if you got good marketing, if you got it to the point where, like, the movie can stand on its own, the art can do the talking, it's going to be fine. I mean, like, I don't know why people always try to do this every time. Like, did you know, like, nowadays people are still arguing about Black Adam and, like, whether that's a good movie or not? And I'm like, I thought it was okay. I mean, like, from what I saw, I thought it was okay. At the end of the day, like, you know, DC Universe is being remodified, being rebuilt, going through the changes too. I mean, like, there's no Wonder Woman 3 coming, which is sad in its own right, because, man, Wonder Woman 2 sucks. Wonder Woman 1984 was just one of those kind of films where I was like, ooh, we knew this was coming, and at the end of the day, it was a movie that nobody wanted, and just totally craps on the first one, which was damn good. Like, even then, I don't have a problem saying whether a movie is ridiculously bad, in my opinion, or not, you know. Now, how you all feel about it, y'all still argue about this stuff and say, like, little passages like, you know, Spider-Man 2 was too good for its own good. So, was the movie good or not? What was it fine? What the hell are you telling me? You know, it's like, it's always that vague statement. And then, of course, you know, whoever wrote that stuff is over there stroking the ego and saying, like, I was being creative at the time. As a writer, I'm very ashamed of you. You know? It's just like looking at the industry that I want to jump into and been a part of, I'm like, I don't know if I want to play in this party or not. But then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I might as well, hell. Cause I look at some of the other creators around me and stuff. Like, there's a lot of people from my graduating class, and they're still over here. And I know the pandemic has affected a lot of people in other ways more so than me or you. But the thing is that, like, some of those guys were very creative. Some of those guys, when they had their projects up, I was a little bit like, is mine good enough? You understand what I'm saying? But then I see them, they're over in Walmart or they're over in, like, Target. And who knows, that could be, like, their side job. So you can't judge a book, okay? Like I said earlier in today's episode. But I was, like, looking at them, and I was like, hey, man, how's the industry going for you? And then, like, some of them say either, like, it's going really bad, or some of them say, like, you know, things have changed in their lives, which at the same time, I can understand. But I was always like, you know what? I'm going to keep an eye on you. See, and that's what you're supposed to do. Like, there's lots of people I want to work with again, and hopefully we'll all meet up in, Tinseltown and do what we're supposed to be doing. Like I said, if anything, if they want to work on a project, all they got to do is just email me about it. And, like, you know, it doesn't have to be a J360 production, as I always try to say. Anyway, some people are so weird with the way they are. Because, like I said, you know, I give you a rope, and then chances are you could either climb up with the rope, or you can wrap it around your neck and break your spine in multiple ways and just bleed on out internally. But, you know, that's just what people do. And, you know, for, like, Christmas time, I really shouldn't be saying that because that's kind of morbid. But, like I say, you know, working on the changes on these things. But if you're tired of the way the industry is, then we need to go ahead and come together and work on how we can go ahead and fix it. Like, you know what I mean? One person, fine. 10 people, 100 people, and then 1,000 upon thousands. You see what I'm saying? Strength in numbers. That's what it should be about. But nope. At the end of the day, you know, when it's time to actually be active, people don't want to be active or something. And then, like, you know, when they going through their same dream where they're still doing the same old things, saying the same old things, and they ain't apply a damn thing. And it's pretty bad. Like, you know, and that's why, like, sometimes these dreams are telling me things. Like, yeah, I got to get off my ass. Yeah, I got to go ahead and do this right here. No, I'm not settled. No, Delaware hasn't been freaking good to me. Like, it's my home. Don't get me wrong. But guess what? You know, I got to go do things, and I got to go outside of my home again and just go ahead and make things happen, which at the same time, I can always go back to Delaware when I'm 80 or something. And even then, I don't think I will. You know what I mean? I'll come by and see family, but at the same time, it's like, you know, going to a new home, and I'm going to have fun in that new home, too. Like, people were telling me about how expensive my new home will be, and I was, like, sitting there thinking this. I was like, well, apparently you're telling me a lot when you're over there on the other side of Middletown, DE, and just, you know, letting me know how your bills are. And I know, I get it. You know what I mean? Everything's a struggle. Everything's a hustle. But I'm going to have to ride the waves on this one. You know what I mean? Just like putting jams together. Like, jams sometimes can be an annoyance because I'm dealing with other people. And then it seems like, you know, they got to trust me too. So it's like, let's work this out. You know what I mean? And then, like, some people, like, if it's sitting right there and it's a problem, don't let it linger so it become, you know, bigger than what it is. And I don't let stuff linger. If it needs to get done, it'll get done. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. But yeah, woke me up, got my ass in gear, doing all the things I said I was going to do. And not to mention, like, it's all evening out. And then everybody want to be like, oh, well, you know, we got to be the moral guardian. I think you're doing too much. I ain't doing enough. See, quite a lot of this stuff I have here, this stuff was planned to be done. Now it's all about executions, organizations, and running through with it. Because when 2023 happens, you're going to see something. I ain't wait until January to do this stuff either. Yeah, I know. So, yes. Like, I'll be looking at people on this kind of stuff. Oh, speaking of which, I've noticed that Street Fighter 6 is coming. Well, it's coming in June. I can put in a pre-order for it now. And I'm sitting there thinking this to myself. I think Marco totally called it what the single player is going to be. It's going to be kind of like my player on, NBA 2K. Like, you have your avatar, you go around and learn from the masters, like, exactly how to utilize the moves and all that kind of stuff. They are doing that. And once again, I think, like, it should be a feature, not exactly the main feature. But you're also dealing with other fighters, too, so that's going to be okay. I just hope that they maintain it. Because, there are moments where, like, when it comes to a fighting game sometime, like, let's say, like, Samurai Showdown came out, right? Right. Lots of people don't really talk about Samurai Showdown unless you're in on it. I guess it's kind of niche, or it's kind of one of those moments where it's like, it's not as huge as you would think it is. And then there are moments where, like, King of Fighters, like, everybody's excited for King of Fighters, like, when the next installment of that's coming. But when that installment is released, after about a week, you don't hear anything. Like, unless you really in the group or something like that, you don't hear anything from anybody about it. Now, Guilty Gear Strive is interesting because that has, like, longevity, kind of like Impact Wrestling. Like, so they have fans. You understand what I'm saying? And they pop up anywhere when they need to be relevant. But you always know, if you're talking about fighting games, there's a Guilty Gear fan right there in the crowd somewhere. That one person or that two people is sitting right there like, yeah, we got one for us. And it's like, damn, yeah, you do. But, like, what I'm saying is that, like, unlike Madden or unlike, like, 2K and stuff like that, people live by that stuff. And you hear, like, all the stuff coming for that. But when it comes to, like, fighting games, on the other hand, I guess either because there's a lot of them or it's because, like, things are different with them or, like, the accessibility is off. I don't know what it is. But, you see, right now, I'm not in a hurry to pre-order it. Ironically, I'm not. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's cool, but there's another game that has my attention, too. Tekken 8. As soon as Tekken 8's pre-order is active, then I'll go ahead and I'll pre-order Street Fighter 6. Get them both taken care of, you know what I mean? And then I also got to pay attention to where the hell I'll be at by that time. And I already know where I'll be. At home in a new area. So simple as that. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them kind of things to be looking into. But also, though, like, this is why Parsec exists. Because, you can find a bunch of people to game with. I mean, totally. But, like, me and Marco were playing we were playing Samurai Showdown the other day. Damn fine game. And it's good to see that the online is still active for it, too. Even though it was kind of wonky there for a little bit. But who knows, we'll probably do another episode and showcase it to you guys on the Power Play. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of it. Along with DOA 6. Now, that's another series that needs to come back. We need DOA 7. I was sitting there playing that the other day, like, nah, I wouldn't have paid full price for it and then had to go pay the DLC. $100 worth of DLC, that's kind of ridiculous. Even for Tecmo. But, I was having such a good time playing with Ayane, because Ayane is Bae. Well, next to real-life Bae. But yeah, like, I've been playing as her for a long time. You know what I mean? Ever since, like, DOA 2. And I was like, yep, she still got it. And just beating the hell out of all the other cast members. Even her half-sister, Kasumi. Now, Kasumi is pretty cool, too. But, yeah, I was like, yeah, I know these characters. I understand all of this. And I was like, oh, I was missing out on all this on the Xbox. And I was like, yeah, okay. The feeling and the vibes came back. And not to mention the muscle memory was all coming back in, too. So I was like, yeah. But, I'm still hoping that they go ahead and they get a 7th installment of that. And I think Killer Instinct, which at the same time kind of needs another IP in there, it needs a sequel. At least for this new era, it needs a sequel. But maybe they're just like, hey, you know what we got here, and we're just going to stick to it, all right? We ain't doing no more for it or anything. Because I was looking at it, right, and I was like, this is a damn fine remake. But I always look at the fighting community, and we are kind of weird. Fighting community is just as weird as the shooting community, and the shooting community, well, that's still at the top. Well, I don't know. The RPG community is still running strong. And then there's also, like, oh, damn, the racing community. Yeah, now that's one. They still arguing about which one's better between Need for Speed Unbound or Need for Speed Heat. I was like, yo, I get it. None of us like EA. But at the same time, though, like, that is still pretty badass. Like, I like it. I like Need for Speed. Like, it has done some crazy moments. There are times where I'm looking at this and I'm like, why did I buy this installment? I should have waited until next year's. But, like, this year's, what Unbound was really, really, really decent. It's not too far off from Heat. But at the same time, will they ever match the Underground 2? They could if they go ahead and figure out what made Underground 2 great. I wish they would do that. But, you know, I also think, like, Midnight Club needs to come back because there was another installment of that. But we need a new one. And then here's the thing. All they got to do is just make this like Initial D. That's all I keep saying. Because when we had the arcade around here, right, that used to be my place to go to. I had my car, I had my card, I had all that stuff all configured out just the way I wanted to, and it was perfect to compete with. You know? We need something like that, and that would really help out. In addition to, like, all the Mario Kart clones, like, I would love to have another Sonic Racing, if you will, but not just Sonic stuff, all the Sega characters again, because you need another one of those. Like, it was well done for its time. I don't know why, like, when they go and they get this new installment, and they're like, no, we're just gonna focus on the core functions here, and then at the same time make it as, like, not as fun as the other ones were. Yeah, it drives me crazy with that one, but yeah, pun intended. Y'all can take that one. But yes, it's like it could be better than what it is. See what I'm saying? But, like, nah, when I'm sitting here playing Unbound, or I'm playing, like, the Hot Wheels game, because, you know, that's just stupid fun, and I'm about it. They got Street Fighter cars in that. I was like, yo, I got the Ryu car and all that. I think they got a Batman car. Yeah, they got Batman sets, too. Nice. So, yes. Well, I got it on while I'm talking to y'all. So, you know, killing two birds with one stone, if you will. But, yes, it's like... I don't know. Some people say, like, gaming's not the way it used to be. Well, hell, none of these entertainment industries are the way we used to be. But a lot of us in the new crowd, and I'm talking about, like, Generation Y crowd, a lot of us creatives, we could do something about that. You do realize that, right? Now, look. You look over at the studio game, you see, like, they need to have exercise and control over everything. And as they want to do, but they're losing control every time. Because they're falling down, they're melting out. They're like, we were going to do this for a crowd, that we were going to go ahead and bring about a new inclusive society. Well, let me just tell you about that inclusive society for a minute. That inclusive society is not necessarily going for the things that you are allegedly experts on. They need to go on ahead and try to work with those without alienating a certain group. You know what I mean? Things that are accessible, if you will. And you know what? Like I say, I look at my art sometimes, and there's just going to be people that don't like it. Like, even doing the podcasts, or even doing, like, charitable moments and stuff. It's like, they're just not going to do it because they don't like me. But you know what? I don't give a damn. Either way, I win, you know? And then there was that one dream I also had where I did win. And that's becoming real all the time. So, yeah, you know? I just look at it from time to time. You know, I can outline all the problems. I can outline, like, what the issue is here. I can see exactly where I could go ahead and fix that whole thing. And then I just have to go ahead and map how I can go about it. You know what I mean? The mythology of things. And I just wish people would understand that, you know? But, hey, once again, you got to deal with human nature. People can't handle, like, you know, certain successes, so you got to act really, really ignorant about things. Or at the same time, you got to cover it up like it's the plague. It just drives me. It's just like, you know what? Fine. If that's the way you feel, okay, I got to think about your feelings. Your feelings outweigh what facts are. Your feelings, you know, about capitalism are very, very true to the point. Your feelings, like, you know, how dare I run a business and try to keep it in the green? How dare I run a business and make money for it? How dare I become a man with passion? Because I can. You punk mother. Sorry. Yeah. I plan on upsetting a whole lot of people in 23, but for the right reasons. And as should all of you. And quite a lot of you musician friends out there that I know of, or anybody that did not appear on Jams yet, you know, when I announced that Jams is open for submissions, you know what I mean? If you can't be on the show, well, this is your time to talk to your community. Talk to your associates. Talk to people who actually make music like you do. And give yourself permission to suck at something. Like, for real. Like, look, I got all this animation stuff, right? And see, the thing about it is, it's like, I've been out of the game for a while, so I got to go ahead and work on my fundamentals. But I'm giving myself permission to suck for a while so I can get better. You know what I mean? So I can go ahead and have definition and go ahead and work on anatomy and all that. Like, yeah, it's like right there. And, you know, like I remember back in the day before I even got full in on doing just standard J360 stuff, you know, like I was quite decent. And I was well on my way because I knew about dimensions and I knew about, like, you know, exactly what a face looks like what expressions are. You know, and it's much like anything else. When you're out of the game for a while, then all of a sudden you got to start taking care of some rust, you know? Which is why at the same time, the methodology of how to do things around here is going to have to change up a little bit, not to mention all the traveling that I'll be doing. So, yeah. But fortunately, though, those of you that are worried about that kind of stuff, you really shouldn't be because I took the station and made it remote years ago. So it's like, you know, it's just all about like what I can do at the time. So it's like one of those things. But yeah, like if anything else, yeah, I don't mind learning how to do these things and I don't mind looking at new stuff. Like there are times where I dabble in music. You don't know about it, but there are times where I do it. So, you know, it's just all about how we're going to play this game and exactly the way of going about it. And then changing up on all sorts of other things. I don't have time to have a bad day. I don't have time to be stressed out. I don't have time to worry about the things that you consistently worry about. As I say in my one of my many voice acting voices. So, it's just one of those things. Oh, speaking of which, though, we haven't done any holiday stuff this week, right? Right. So, let's see. Like, next week, however, we're going to jump in. Which reminds me, I gotta go and make sure, like, some of those gifts that were already sent off are actually going to hit their mark. Because there are times where, you know, if you know, you know. Alright? So, fortunately, things are not really in high speed right now, so this would be the time to get it done. Just letting you all know about that. And then not to mention, like, once again, for Jams is still open until next Thursday. Okay? So if you have 2 tracks or if you have requests or, like, anything, just email j360productions@outlook.com. Another other thing is that, like, that number that I keep flashing around here, you know, 240-903-1634, that is the J360 radio hotline, guys. And when I have it connected to J360 radio, which I will announce in another episode, you actually can call in and you can talk, and then, like, you can also leave, like, voicemails if you want to, or say, like, you know, how we doing, or just tell me what's on your mind. I'll put it on the airwaves, of course, but like I say, keep it clean, though. I think one of the syndicators that I was sending the show to didn't get back to me because, like, allegedly I am too abrasive and too mean, and then, like, you know, but I mean well. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you would think, well, with us all being adults here, you know, they could handle a couple of F-bombs and maybe, you know, manure, if you will. But yeah, you know, I'm supposed to be working on my charm as of what, but I always had charm, man. It's just all about, like, if there's some crap in the news that ain't right, or once again, like, people thinking that Herschel Walker was robbed of the election, which quite a lot of people are sitting there acting about, in addition to those that are like, well, we shouldn't have went with that in the first place, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, I got to deal with that kind of contention. And I don't mind making fun of them for it. But yeah, so, you know, the next time I'll probably get, like, you know, like, visited by spirits or things that are talking to me, we'll all just sit and watch Tubi and talk about, like, you know, the Charles Dickens presentation of A Christmas Carol. Be like, how you feel about that Christmas past? You know, looking back, it's okay. How you feel about it present? Well, as we're sitting all right here now, you know, streaming's convenient. You should definitely keep that alive, you know? Nah, I like Blu-rays and home release, man. How you feel about it, Christmas future? And, you know, he don't say much, but I know damn well he probably be eating a lot, looking me in the eye, and just waiting for me to F up. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I would look at it, but, like, I know I was supposed to tell you guys about 3 dreams, but quite a lot of those dreams end up with the same thing. You know, if I don't do anything, then I ain't going to be anything. But if I go ahead and I do what I need to do now, people will understand. And as I keep going about things, I'm going to be damn scary in the future, but, you know, for all the right reasons. You know, keep that in mind. It's just like, you know, once again, I ain't destined to be anything. You know? Like, there's times where I'm like, you know, I'm wrote off. Which, by the way, my mom got back to me about that not too long ago. She said, I remember you, boy. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, let's clear the air on that. And she said, on 10/30, I squirted you out in the world. And I was like, oh, we're going back to the origin, are we? She said, I can never forget that. And not only that, you were planned pregnancy. And I was like, oh. So, like, she opened up all of that and, like, really let me know about myself. Which is why I'm glad I didn't have, like, a Comedy Central roast going on, because my mom could give me the business. I was like, you know what? She right. But, you know, I've long since forgiven her about circumstances and stuff like that, because it's not good to hold on to that. Which is why, like, change is coming to play. And, you know, I'm not too happy about certain things, but I worked on it. So, you know, it's manageable and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, like, working for, like, certain jobs and stuff, not much fun. So, ended up getting rid of it. And then, like, you know, cutting off certain people that are not about anything other than themselves. And when I say that, I mean it, like, in arrogant ways and, like, you know what, elitist ways and all that jazz. I don't say, like, you know, you got to take care of yourself and all that jazz. And then not to mention, like, you know, be 10 times more formidable than what you are right now. So that's what I want it to be, you know what I mean? Being the ultimate version of myself in all aspects of mind, body, and spirit. So that's how that be going. That's how that be going. Oh my God. I need help. I need to stop sleeping with the damn stand-up comedy routines on. Okay, so but yeah, you know, guys, if anything else, like, this is just a step into the right direction. And, like, if anything else, we're just gonna have to go ahead and ride the waves as we normally do. In addition to, like, you know, just have a whole lot of fun. And I think it's kind of cool because, like, with multiple weeks involved in December this time, I'm able to squeeze in at least, like, 4 jams presentations? So, yeah, let's just go ahead and ride out the year, have a great time doing it, and then we can go and kick next year's ass. How about that, huh? We all win as a group, win as a team, become the most elite unit that we need to be. After all, we are the J360 Legion, and that extends to the Jam Fam and to all my soda heads out there, which, by the way, if you have not experienced State of the Art, I highly suggest you do, because that show is friggin' lit. I'm looking forward to the next installment. And not just because I'm on it, but, you know, at the same time, I'm on it. So, yeah, that'd be fun. And then not to mention Marco and Mucifer. Oh, and before we head off, I do want to also say, like, you know, Hangouts is still open for any of you that want to be on it. We'll go ahead and we'll discuss your episode. And you see, like, all you got to do is email me about it and put Hangouts in the subject box, okay? So that way I know about it and see what you're all about. And then, like, for those of you that want to do, like, a return showcase on it, yeah, time to go ahead and get your spot. So let's go ahead and, like, get you all set up, get the calendar looking good, and then, like, we can go ahead and, once again, kick 2023's ass. See what I'm saying? Leave a statement. Because that's what it's all about. After all, we are not anything minute. We are J360 Productions. See? So that's how that works. Speaking of which, though, I got to get on off of this thing. But I want you guys to take care of yourselves. We will meet up again. Is there a show tomorrow? I don't know. Look. Let's just put a fork in that one, okay? And if there isn't a show tomorrow, well, I guess I could do a little bit of R&D and mess with y'all. I mean, at the end of the day, I always still got some stuff to do for Casual BS. So, oh, and by the way, Casual BS is only on Twitch. That's just me sitting there playing a video game. You know, I don't mind you guys popping in and talking to me about stuff if you wanted to. Just shoot this. Hey, see, I did the episode clean. Proved all y'all wrong who said I couldn't. Ha! That's right. Give it up for J-Man. J-Man wins. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Shoot. I'm leader of J360 Productions. What do you expect? Now, that's enough ego stroking. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. I'll catch up with you later, okay? This is J-Man signing off. Peace.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.